Yo, yo, yo.
And yo to you, yo.
What's
What?
up?
What? What? It's Saturday night. It's Saturday night. It's
No,
so nice out, by the way.
it's
Oh
getting
my gosh. It has been so nice out here.
really.
Yeah.
It's been raining for like 3 days, and today was nice. Today it cleared up, and then now it's like windy and getting chilly out.
Uh-huh.
Had to close some of the windows.
It was like the last couple days, like yesterday even, I was working and I had the door open at work because we have a door to the outside in our suite, in our office suite. And so I can open it, there's a screen door. And I actually got chilly because the wind was whipping so hard and it was colder wind, but gorgeous day. And I finally had to close the window. But today was absolutely stunning. I had all the windows in the house open. And I told Kane this morning, and I'm like, we've been so busy. It's been so crazy. I just want to have a lazy day today.
Yeah,
And I totally had a lazy day today. It was awesome. I took a nap with the windows open and a cat curled up next to me, and I was like the happiest person today. It was
dude, I
so
don't even
good.
know what that is.
I know
What
you don't.
what is a nap? I took a nap the other day for 5 minutes. I got yelled at.
Let's start recording since it sounds like we're going to get some good stuff out of this.
Oh, I just used my best material. 3, 2, 1, recording.
And recording now.
Oh wait,
Did you screw up?
no. Okay, recording.
Recording now.
Okay, you didn't stop it, did you?
No, I didn't stop it.
Okay, I was looking at my recording button and how it was depressed and it never unpressed. And then I really, oh wait, it's supposed to be like that.
No, it's pressed and it's working.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Hester said you did nothing and it was everything you hoped it would be. It was. I just haven't had a day like that in quite some time. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I had the windows open. I was just listening to the sounds outside, listening to the cat purr. And it was just like, I just needed to just be quiet and relax. Because last night we were out, and I'll tell stories about why we were out last night. We were in a casino and we were out and loud, and it was just like, and everything is overstimulating. And I was just like, today is the perfect day to be lazy. And it was great. So I was lazy. Tomorrow I'm not going to be so lazy because it's Father's Day, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't even know what we're doing tomorrow. Kane has to decide that.
You know, all I want to do on Father's Day is just lay on my couch and have everybody go away.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool? I feel for you. I understand how tough it is when you have small children because they just have to be there all the time,
Yeah.
you know. And
Then
to
I'd
say
miss
on
them.
Father's Day that you would just like it if, somebody would take your small children and go do something with them for the day, and you could just have a day where you were not dad.
Mm. The problem is, I like after about 25 minutes, I start to miss them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're so used to
'cause I'm
it.
so used to them. So that probably wouldn't be good. I mean, that's my thought. Oh, just having all day to myself. But then I'm like, no, I'm kind of bored.
Well, and like today, I mean, Kane and I were both here, and we were doing stuff. We were spending time together. But then I was just like spending time alone in the house. It's just so nice. It was so nice. And then we had and now my stepdaughter is here for Father's Day, so she came home tonight. She was at her mom's house yesterday and today, so I enjoyed my quiet and relax. And here you go. It's great. So yes, you got your now. See, you're doing the lip balm thing too. That's the one thing about this weather. It's because it's been dry. My lips have been dry.
I've been doing that for a while before the show.
Yeah. Well, it's a smart thing to do when you're doing a podcast and talking for 2 hours.
Yeah, so I'm not like trying to lick my lips.
Or your lips are smacking together.
Right. Keep them lubed. Mm-hmm.
Lori, no, nothing questionable this time. She's asking because of the last time she came back here, she was wearing a shirt that said, "I'm a sucker for guys with eyeliner."
Oh my God.
And I just went, oh, crap. She's 11 and wearing a shirt like that.
Guys really wear eyeliner?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
You're either emo, you're a pop artist,
Uh-huh.
or you're metrosexual or homosexual. is probably the best ways to do that.
Since I'm all of the above, I should probably wear eyeliner.
I would love it if
Yeah.
you would wear eyeliner, guy liner when you go on the show. Oh, Zuck's here. My gosh, I thought you were out tonight, dude.
You know, I was thinking of painting my nails for the stream, see if anybody would notice.
See if you can look like that.
No, I'd do them black.
Doing black, yeah, you'd be all like emo. You have to do a single tier in eyeliner, like right here.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was thinking if I did my nails black and wore a bunch of rings.
Oh,
Like
that'd be cool. And
like a
some
big skull.
you have to wear a pentagram on a black leather cord. Pentagram right there.
Like a leather vest and nothing underneath it. Or is that's too rock and roll?
That's rock and roll. You're
Oh,
not
all
doing emo then. If you're going emo, then you've got to wear a black t-shirt that may have just some holes right up here.
Maybe a black turtleneck?
That's hipster.
Oh my god, I don't know,
That's hipster.
man. I'm so confused by everything.
Yeah, you gotta find the line to be, listen to a lot of Depeche Mode and The Cure and Matthew Sweet and and then you can tell the tone. You gotta be wearing the black. Paint your nails black is a good one though.
Nose piercing. Earlier, first squeeing, now eyeliner. Who are you and what have you done in the REM? I don't know.
Oh, you see, okay, so Lori would say pentacle versus pentagram. That's fair. Or you could be wearing let's see.
Jesus, we're going to offend Satanists now? Oh, my God.
Oh, come on. The Cure is emo, Maslu. Come on. Who does not agree with that? It's got to be.
Has Giancarlo Esposito done anything since Breaking Bad?
Yeah, actually. He's doing movies and that kind of thing. You can follow him on Twitter, but he's got a weird handle. It's hard to find him.
Yeah. What movies
I'm
has he been
actually
in?
following him now, but I found him because someone said this is his Twitter handle, and I'm like, what?
Is he in the new Transformers?
Was he in any other Transformers?
Probably not. I'm just trying to pick a movie that I might see him in the future.
Let me go look up his IMDb profile for you because I
Yeah.
have the interwebs,
What's that?
the stuff that you find stuff on.
Oh, all right.
Giancarlo Esposito
Uh-huh.
is currently
Do it.
in Revolution,
What's
the
that?
TV series.
Oh, on AMC? I was going to watch that.
No, Revolution is on NBC, I think.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Revolutionary Era show they put on AMC.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's in he was in Once Upon a Time. Son of Bat. Oh, he's Ra's al Ghul's voice in the Son of Batman video. Weird.
Batman. Oh, I learned this the other day. Batman does have a son named Damien.
He's also in something that's been completed but not released yet. Batman Assault on Arkham video. He's the voice of the Black Spider. That's it. So
I bet you Kane's going to be playing that.
that's not it's a video. It's not a game.
Oh, aren't they doing a new Batman Arkham game?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's Arkham Origins. Is that the new one?
I don't know.
Tell me. That one's not coming out for yet. But yeah, Revolution did get canned, so now I don't think he's got anything going on yet.
Oh,
But,
poor guy.
Oh, he's got a lot of stuff under his belt, and I think he's pretty prolific. Pretty prolific. How did we start talking about Giancarlo Esposito?
Haster mentioned him in the chat room, so then I started thinking. That's how I work, man.
Gus Fring, dude. These things. These
can't
little
see.
guys here. The pop gap,
Yeah.
the pop things, the
Yeah.
fun pop things. I think they have. They've got a Breaking Bad set, and they've got the Gus Fring with his face blown off.
I think I've seen that.
You could
Ah.
totally get
That
Gus
was the
Fring to have his
freakiest
face.
shit ever when he
That
walked
was
out.
great
It's-
effects.
Because you were watching season 5 at that point, and the way you had described, because I kind of asked you what happens in season 5, and the way you described it to me made me think that Gus was a part of season 5. Listen, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry. So I was thinking to myself when that happened, how the hell does he do this with half a face? But then, everything was solved immediately thereafter.
And then you figured it out.
Yeah.
I gotta tweet the deets that we're at.
That was my only thought. It's like, what? And then, I get it. Okay. Now I understand more what she meant.
Live.
Oh, I'm so bad at
Right.
understanding things.
TV/Tauren think tank. I spelled it right this time? S.
I hope so.
Like, did I spell it right this time?
Dust I spelt it right, did?
Like, yeah. Like, totally.
Like, oh my God.
Like, as.
Oh, I heard today they did a study, some like language institute, that people who say you know and like a lot and know what I mean aren't necessarily not intelligent. Some of them are brighter people who are thoughtful and just making sure you're acknowledging what they're saying.
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair.
I don't know if it's 100% true, but I can see, you know.
There, you know what happens though? It starts as a teenager or as a even preteen when they start with the I have to go to the ice rink because my friends are gonna be there. That's what happens there, and then you as a parent you make them pay a nickel every time they say the word "like" in a sentence. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then you start going back to it as you get to an older adult. But some of them never get out of that, and then it drives you crazy.
Rem is right.
Yes, you are. Did you bring in my audio on the soundboard?
Of course I did.
ThanI
was having, I restarted my computer. I turned it off last night, so I brought it up on a fresh start this morning, just now, and then Skype was being an asshole. Without even calling anybody except, my broadcaster. It was just, Skype was just being, oh, God.
Jerk face.
Yeah. We need a Kickstarter so we can get a whole bunch of, equipment, and you can fly here every Saturday, and we can do a show.
Yeah.
In a professional podcast studio.
So I think that would be the perfect thing for us to do as a Patreon fundraiser to say, please fly Jules to Connecticut every week.
Yeah.
For one day.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
And then return her back the following day so she...
Yeah. And we're not going to let you see the books or where else any of the money is going to be spent.
Exactly, because that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's how you raise money.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm not ripping on anybody who does Patreon. I've just seen some really interesting Patreon reasons out there recently.
Do you have your phone near you? We'll start in a second, guys. Don't worry. Check your text messages.
Check my text messages.
Mark Conan just sent us a picture.
Oh God!
Mark Conan sent us a text.
He's in the Sears Tower.
He sent a text message. It says, "Have a great show tonight. Sorry I'm not there. I'm just a bit too high."
Oh God!
And it's a picture of his feet standing over the Sears Tower with the glass underneath, so you can see down below. I wonder if you can see this. Wait, hold on. Let me see my camera.
You can see, he actually tweeted that picture. I just looked.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
All right.
You look on his Marconan Wow on Twitter, you can see his picture. And
now I'm disappointed. I thought we were special. Yep. All right. You ready?
I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
No, I'm never ready.
You're never ready.
Does it look like I'm ready? No, I didn't get your pic, Svensson. Did you tag me?
Chat room, are you guys ready?
I'm definitely not ready.
I'm not ready. Well, you haven't done the normal.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. Oh. Come on, Rem. Get it. Go get
it together, Rem.
You can do this. Right.
My phone just has to stop buzzing now. I'm going to throw it across the room. I have a story. I have a story.
Good. At least one of us has something to talk about.
I have a good story.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. And 3, 2, 1. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
God, I hope I can do this right. In honor of the World Cup, Jules, go!
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Boy, that was annoying. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tauren Think Tank, episode 104. It is June 14th of 2014. It is 10:04 in the PM on the East Coast. I am Rem, and ole, 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 ole. And that's Jules. Ole, ole. I'm pumped up.
That was a great goal, by the way.
Thanks.
It was a really good one.
I haven't been practicing, so thank you.
Have you been watching the World Cup or something?
Yeah, I had it on
Okay.
today. And yesterday for a few minutes. When I can watch, it's fun. I don't know.
It is.
I get into the spectacle of it, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pomp and circumstance and some very, 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 very excited people.
Yeah, there's a reason I get into the 3 horse races we talked about last week, because it's, the spectacle of it. It's just it's a big deal. So I like watching all the people in the stands dancing and chanting, and then the guys when they score a goal, like it's the biggest event ever in their lives.
Yeah.
So they just gave birth themselves.
Yeah.
So it's really it's fun. I enjoy it.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but in the early 2000s, I actually saw the Women's World Cup, or parts of it, because it was here in the United States, and it was in Ohio, and it was when the women's Olympic soccer team was so popular. You know, all of like Brandi Chastain, Mia Hamm, all of those popular players were playing on the World Cup team. So I went to see it, and talk about an amazingly fun thing. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I had a blast just being in the stands and enjoying these games and watching the U.S. play, and it's really fun.
I've always said soccer or football is incredibly boring unless it's done well, and so good football is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, well, you'll get a whole month of it, so enjoy it.
Yes, I'll try. I will.
So what's shaking?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. I come bearing some stories tonight.
You bear gifts?
I bear gifts to you and to our listeners of some good stories. But first I'll start with rating. So this week as I've told you guys in the past, I've been subbing for a 25-man heroic team on the CTR Guild called Orc Busters. And your reaction to last week's revelation that Orc Busters was the same as Ghostbusters was quite well received by people. It was very funny.
Yes.
You're getting a little giggle fest.
Who are you going to call?
Orc Busters. So I was able to join them again because they were needing a healer sub for both their Wednesday and Monday. So I have now defeated 3 heroic bosses. We've gotten down a Mercius, the Protectors, and Narushan on heroic, and we're now attempting Shaw of Pride on heroic. That's the next thing.
Word.
And it just seems because you have a larger team, the chances of someone being out are more likely. So I just keep getting called, and it's been pretty darn fun. The time of day it's pretty good because I can still do stuff in the evening and get some things done, and then I can sit down to raid. We start raiding around 8:30 my time.
Oh, that's better than 7.
Better than 7 p.m. So
much better than
because I get home at like closer to 6 from work, and so it was kind of like rush. So that's been a lot of fun. Wednesdays for the first to begin the lockout, and then cleaning it up on Monday.
Okay.
So, and this past Monday, it was just a normal finishing up clear, and we just gunned through that place and got to 25-man normal Garrosh, and we killed that guy so fast that he never even got a chance in that empowered whirling corruption phase to do more than one.
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Is that because of the extra upgrades?
Yeah, and the DPS and the extra upgrades have really helped.
But
And we just blew him to pieces, and it was like, we're done early. Let's go to bed. Yay.
Yay.
So
no, I want to do old heroics.
No. I'm going to bed. It's late. Because that's the one thing is that we do raid until midnight my time, and that's a little bit late for me, but I can deal with it. So yeah, so from 8:30 till about midnight. So anyway, so that has been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the team. They're very good people. They're a lot of fun, and I've been having a lot of good times just being back into raiding on a team and just not necessarily having to just do much except show up and really put in the time to raid instead of having to do all the other administrative stuff.
It's no fun.
So I find that doing this has really increased my enjoyment of playing WoW again, because even though it's content that I've already done, it's a new group of people. It's a new dynamic of size of team. And then it's also going after heroic bosses in a focused and forward moving fashion, but it's not cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, if there's a mistake made, you're not feeling like you're about to get stood up in front of the shooting gallery or anything like that. So for making a boo-boo. So there's that. That's my WoW story. And I needed to tell you a story from last night. So last night, Arcane and I went out with our friend Trelant, who lives here in town, and he is the tank for Team Number One Pickle. And he's a great guy. We've known him for many years. And he had a night free. So we wound up going out to get some sushi for dinner. And then we wound up going up to the casino, which is about 45 minutes away from here, up in a place called Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Baraboo.
Baraboo, Wisconsin.
I like that.
It's called the Ho Chunk Casino. Very Indian Ho Chunk Casino.
Native American Jules.
Yes. Native American Casino.
Dare you?
How dare I? So we played some blackjack, and then we decided to move on to craps. And I just didn't do well for most of the evening. I hadn't done well. But Kane had been keeping up with doing well, especially with craps. He kind of held on, got brought down a few times, and then came back up. And it was really busy there. And so there were a lot of people. It's Friday night. I'm standing behind Kane because I'm not playing. And there's this guy that comes up to the table. I can only describe him as one of the drunkest people I've ever seen in my life,
Mm-hmm.
who is still standing.
Mm.
And he's wearing a bright red shirt that has the University of Wisconsin logo on it. And he keeps going he's so drunk. He's walking around. He's going, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone. But he has such a distinctive voice that it just rings through all of the din that's in there. So I decided to bring out my phone
Oh, no.
while I was there. And I'm standing in the casino. I pull out my phone and I pull out the voice recording app on my phone. And I recorded this guy
Oh, my God.
so that you could hear this exact voice of this guy. And I gave Rem a clip of this. Now, I will tell you one thing. It does sound like he is swearing on this clip. He is not. He is saying the word Bucky, and that is from Bucky Badger, who is the mascot of the University of Wisconsin. And because he's wearing this red shirt, everybody is calling him Bucky, or he's calling himself Bucky.
Uh-oh.
So why don't you play the clip for us, Rem?
Okay.
You guys got my card, Badger Boy 48? Here. My Badger Boy, my student, we killed him. We killed him, right? Green shirt. Green shirt. Hey, buddy. Tell Boomer how I get. Tell him. Did you tell? Okay, all right. Yeah, Bucky. Yeah. Hardcore. Tell Bucky. You tell him how Bucky did. Yeah. Tell Boomer how I did, right, Bucky? Bucky? Yeah. Oh, it was big throw.
I just want to say, don't you know?
Talk about, okay, so he's yelling across the table from one end to the other, and apparently there's a history there where he was there and he must have shot the dice for quite some time. So he's telling them to remind everybody that Bucky is there. So that's why he's like, tell Boomer how I get. Bucky.
I'm Bucky.
Yeah, and do you have my card, Badger Boy? I'm like, oh my God, really? Did you really put that name on your like Players Club card? Tell him how Bucky did. And I was cracking up the whole time, and I'm like, this guy is unreal. So he is standing there, and all of a sudden there's these 4 women that show up. They're probably in their late 30s, early 40s, roughly in that range. And one of them is wearing a birthday sticker. Like clearly that they've gone out for her birthday. And the girl with the birthday sticker walks up to Bucky and she taps him on the shoulder and he goes, "Girls, Where have you been? I've been waiting for you. And they're like, we've been looking for you. And then he just continues to play. And these girls are just standing there. Like, apparently they'd hung out in the bar prior to him playing or whatever. And it was the most awkward thing I had ever seen. These women were standing there and they're just like, why are we doing this? Why are we standing around this dude? He was so drunk. He was so drunk. And so they must have stood there for at least 15 minutes and he just ignored them. And finally, she's like, she turns to her friends and she kind of rolls her eyes. She's like, we're going to go. We're going to go.
I am fascinated by this.
It was, and everybody in the chat room is like, there goes the classic Wisconsin accent. It is totally true. He had you could hear him say "yar" in there. Yar.
You haven't described what he looked like.
He was very red faced. He was an older man, very red faced.
White hair.
Like sandy blonde, really buzz cut hair.
Big messed up teeth.
No, it was a slim man wearing a bright red Wisconsin t-shirt, like a polo shirt, and then shorts, like tan shorts. But he just looked like he was a mess. So
did he have a cigar?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can you smoke in your casinos there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know of a casino where you can't smoke.
Yeah, because they're not run by the regular government.
No.
It's a native government. So
you wind up in it. That is like their business.
Yeah.
There's cigarette smoking in there. So you guys know Bucky now.
Marconin, take note.
This could be the start of a new series.
That's fantastic, Jules. I'm glad you recorded somebody without their knowledge and brought it to the show.
The funny thing is if you have an iPhone, you can totally do this without anyone noticing it. You just start the
Teach
app.
us.
You start the app and you start recording. You lock the phone, and then it doesn't show anything's going on except it is recording in the background. So you just can't forget about it, or else you just use up all your memory. But
or record something you didn't want to.
Yeah, so I'm just standing there with my phone in my hand, and it was leaning back, and that's edited down a little bit. I had about 4 or 5 minutes of audio that was kind of a lot of
played
that
the
stuff.
whole thing.
Oh my gosh! Well, you could hear Arcane turn to me and say, "Yep, 6 or 8," and then he looks at me and he looks at Trey, and he's like, "What?" Because we're just giggling, and he was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "We're recording the dude next to you." So that's what we did. I was evil.
At any time during the game of craps, did you say the word crap?
I don't think I did.
No? Okay. I was just wondering.
I don't think I did.
All right.
I probably said crap. My money's gone.
Yeah.
But
all right.
That's about it. So I've talked enough. What's going on with you, sir?
Well, thank you for sharing that Bucky story. I got his picture in my head now, and that's what I'm
I wish
thinking
I had snapped a picture of him,
Yeah,
but
I
it
do
would be
too.
a little hard.
You should have taken a picture with him. So I'll be one of your girls, and then disappear in 2 minutes.
Ew.
No, I mean you put the act on,
He was gross.
Just pretend. Just pretend for a picture. I mean, it's for the show.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. All right. So I got the alpha last week. I finally got a chance to play on it. I checked it out. You really like the music?
I really like the intro music. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was boring and uninspired.
Really?
Basically, somebody got into a music room and said, "Hey, we need to make this savage," and then another guy said, "Okay, let's add a bunch of drums."
I thought it captured the spirit of it being, the darkness and it being all orc-like. I really got that.
Yeah. I wasn't digging it, man.
Okay.
I wasn't digging it. My intro was originally going to be me doing the music, a cappella.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dum ba 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 dum ba ba da ba dum dum da dum savage dum da ba da ba dum da ba da ba dum savage ba ba dum. That was going to be it. But I decided not to. So I logged on and I wanted to create a Death Knight because that's the class I know how to play. And it said, sorry, you need a character of level 55 in this realm. So they never fixed that on the test realms.
No.
No. So I went to copy my character over. That didn't work either. So I started an orc warrior. And the character models look cool, but they're covered under a whole bunch of armor, so you can't see them anyways.
Yeah, because you wind up getting all the armor right away as level 90.
Yeah, but they're bigger. The orcs are bigger on your screen. Did you notice this?
No, I actually didn't touch orcs at all, so I haven't seen
Yeah,
this.
they're bigger.
Okay.
And what was I going to say? Oh, darn it. I don't remember. I had another. Oh, I got it now. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. If those of you who run on lower end systems, beware.
Yeah.
Beware.
Did you have some struggles?
I had to reduce graphic settings a little more than I had to on live.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Not surprising.
No. So yeah, just beware. Just beware. I thought Thrall looked stupid with his new haircut. I don't know about you, but I thought he looked dumb. But
Okay.
what's weird is they changed his model to fit with the new orc models. I thought his model was just fine the way it was, but now he's like stockier. It looks weird. It's weird to get used to him. It looks like he has a tattoo on his jaw, but I know there isn't one there.
No.
Yeah.
And remember, it's alpha.
Oh, I know it's alpha and everything. You know, I didn't get too far into it. I checked it out, and played around with it, checked out the new models, and I don't know. I started a warrior. I don't know how to play a warrior, so I was just mashing buttons and killing things, and did the first garrison quest where the goblin's like, "Rawr, give me some wood, rawr," and then. So yeah, I checked out the alpha. It's pretty neat. I'll probably do some more on it as we go along.
Cool.
Yeah, it was neat. The best part about it was actually playing some new content. It's just a little bit of new content was nice.
Yeah.
You know, something you hadn't seen before.
Do you plan on digging in any further at this point, or no?
I might. I really would want to get be able to play a Death Knight so I can actually enjoy it because I don't know how to play any other class at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you know Rogue a little bit. You can play a Rogue.
I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get back into it. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see new stuff, and it's still an alpha.
Well, and that's yeah. It's being worked on, which is good.
It's still an alpha.
I know.
Still an alpha. I did want to say something real quick about we got a lot of feedback the past couple weeks since episode 100. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys, and it's all been great. And I just wanted to point out that when you do things on the internet, this feedback normally goes like this. Okay, there's two types. There's good and bad feedback, of course. Good feedback goes like this. All right, I'm the person giving good feedback. Oh, I listened to that. I like what I heard. I don't need to do anything, so I'm not going to write in. And then there's bad feedback, which goes like this. You took an extra breath while you were saying that sentence. I hate you. Your show sucks. I'm never listening again. So basically, you never really hear from the good guys, for the people who think your stuff's good. All right, the good feedback, you don't hear too much of it because when people are happy, they don't complain. But we've gotten a lot of good feedback from you guys, and it's actually been really heartwarming to see. And none of the extra breath type hate mail.
I was like, if you got that, I hadn't seen any.
Yeah, no,
so.
I just wanted to thank our audience for being so cool with the feedback we've gotten the past few episodes, especially like the last two episodes where we talked about some heavy subjects, and nobody really got on us for any of that, and a lot of agreement we've gotten, which was nice.
And if there was some counterpointing going on, it was being done with thought and with consideration, and I truly respect that, and I 100% agree with you that we really are lucky that we have the audience members that we do. You guys are so thoughtful and so insightful on what you think and what you feel. And when you take the time to write us and let us know, it is very, it is always constructive. You know, we very, very rarely get that kind of like, I hate you because you squint your eye a little bit to the left, you know?
Yeah.
So we don't get that. And that is really, really rare in what we do. So thank you guys for being so awesome and so mature and insightful and friendly and pleasant and fun. We have a lot of fun with you guys.
Yeah, we do. So like Jules said, thanks. You ever have this, Jules, where someone says to you, you see someone, you're meeting somebody. How you doing? Good?
Yes,
they
all the
answer
time.
the question for you.
Yes.
Do they do that a lot in Wisconsin?
It's not as common out here as it is by you. I think it happens a lot on the East Coast.
It's like, why'd you even ask? If you knew what was going on, why bother?
The general thing is, though, everybody is not expecting you to say, well, I had a really bad night. I didn't sleep well last night. They don't want to know that.
Yeah, I've had this happen to me. I was just thinking about this today, and I just figured I'd talk to you about it because it's fun.
Yeah.
I was walking around, and I saw a guy at the end of the day. I'm like, hey, how are you today? Or he said to me first. He says, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? And I was all bright and happy. He's like, oh, I just buried my mother today. Oh.
Drop mic, walk away.
Okay.
Oh, but that is like, people expect you to lie. If you're a friendly dude and you're just talking to somebody who is passing by, telling them that you just buried your mom is probably not the best conversation starter.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just looking for that, when you're in that state, you're looking for personal contact of any type, somebody to care.
That's a weird thing. I don't do that to people I don't know. People, whenever anyone asks me how I'm doing, I never say, "Oh, I'm rushed, got to go," or "I'm having a horrible day." I say, "I'm doing well. How are you?" Because they don't need my nonsense, right? Yeah. I just thought it was, people, they answer it for you. How you doing? Good. Oh, okay.
Well, and the thing about coworkers too, have you ever had this where they're saying, "Hey, you doing anything fun this weekend?" And they really don't give two craps.
No, they're just off doing something else. Okay,
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, I had this happen to me on Friday, yesterday. So, "Hey, doing anything fun this weekend?" And I was like, well, I mean, this person knew some of my situation, and with Father's Day coming up, I was like, well, Father's Day is going to be interesting, that kind of thing. And you could tell she was just not even there. And
Yeah.
I was, okay, I get it. I took the messages. And ran.
Yep.
Like, you're not interested really in what I'm doing. And so I can just tell you, I'm going to relax this weekend, clean the house, and have some fun.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I got. Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
You're done. Okay. So there's no real other news to talk about today, I don't think, unless you had anything we can jump into discussion.
Send us your letters.
Oh, yes, that is true. We are it's getting warm out. It's alpha still pending. It's quieter. We're kind of getting slower on the letters, people. So if you've been kind of sitting on something, might be a good time to send it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some room, and we'd appreciate it. So if you've got suggestions for discussion topics, you got questions for advice from us, send them on over, questions@taurenThinkTank.com, because we could use them. And usually when we ask this, then we get a whole bunch of letters, and then they wait, as we chunk them out a little bit. So don't be afraid to send them. And if it waits just a little bit, it's just because everybody did it at once. But don't be afraid to send it, because we need them.
That's right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready for this?
Yes.
Hey, Jules, let's do a discussion on some random topic that came from our audience.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was special.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
my falsetto.
That was quite special.
Thanks.
Okay. So our frequent contributor, Dance DJ 2K, otherwise known as Svensson, has gotten us again with a discussion topic. And
God,
this one
Svensson.
actually came from Twitter. I don't think he intended this one to be a discussion topic, but I felt that it would be a good one. And it's very short. It's very concise, but it hits the mark. He says, "Why are Warcraft players so closed-minded and biased? Many games out there to be played and loved equally." And this kind of came around with all of the talk about WildStar, the other games that have been released in the last couple of weeks. People really excited about it. And so, and a lot of people, especially WoW players, there's been quite a few WoW players that have been talking prolifically about WildStar in particular. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. You see it all over the place.
So what do you think when you see a whole bunch of people who you follow, people related to World of Warcraft, and now they're very excitedly talking about WildStar, excited about another game coming out? What do you feel about that?
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good time. I think a lot of this goes to, Warcraft's your home team. That's the team you root for. And you had so many other games come along and say they were going to kill Warcraft, and they haven't done it yet. And you stood behind your team, and you conquered all. And you've won the championship, and this is it's your baby. Then another thing comes along, and you got to defend your team, right? And you got to stick up for it. That's what. Closed-minded and biased. I don't know if it's closed. I don't know if you can call it closed-minded and biased. I think you can call it rooting for your team.
Okay.
If that makes you closed-minded, then maybe.
Well, on the one hand, I understand where the intention is. I know that when things change over time, everyone's excited about the thing that you love to. You've built this list of people who are following. You're following them. They're probably following you on Twitter as well. And that's the discussion that the people have. And then suddenly something new comes on the horizon, and everybody gets excited about it. And you're no longer sharing that same, maybe you just don't like to play something else. Maybe you can't afford it. Maybe your computer can't support it. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why people would not want to join in the group movement to enjoy another game, because you're like, hey, I'm happy with WoW. I don't understand why everybody else needs to just migrate to something else. And you worry, is this going to take away? It's change. It's all about change, because all of a sudden this new game has come out. It's the new hotness. Everybody's talking about it. So excited that the game's coming out. And then they just want to get in and play. And it's just like, I don't share your same sentiment. Therefore, I feel left out.
Yeah. It's kind of what we talked about last week with feeling left out of things. And they don't have the same excitement, just like you said, so they feel left out. So the natural response to that is, well, your new game sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or I don't understand why you guys have to keep talking about WildStar. It's like, I'm trying to scan back to Chief Fulgen said it. It's not just gamers, it's human nature to be biased on things.
Yes.
And I completely agree with that. I think it's one of the things that happens is the feeling left out or not feeling left out complex of being a part of something or not being a part of something. But it's also a matter of feeling like all of a sudden something new has come around that has now drawn attention away from the thing that everybody seemed to agree on. And now everybody is in disagreement and disaccord. And it's this feeling of, we're not agreeing anymore. And instead of saying to that person, hey, go love what you love, go play what you love, go enjoy your time as you want to, it's like, what about me? Hi, I'm still here.
You're a jerk.
Yeah. You left me behind.
Yeah.
And I understand why people react that way. I literally just kind of shrug my shoulders and say, hey, guys, have fun. I hope to see you back in WoW again. But if I don't, I hope you have a good time loving what you love. And I've really had to work hard, because I think as a child, and I think you as well, have dealt with the fact of feeling left out of things and feeling like everybody else, or you feel badly for not liking what everybody else likes because you then feel weird about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That whole left out thing, yeah, I'm lost in my thought here on that, because I'm thinking back to that. Jules, keep going, because my thoughts are
You're
jumbled.
brewing. Okay,
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it percolating in your brain. It goes back to the discussion from 2 weeks ago. It is awesome and okay for you to have your own opinion. But it's not okay for you to tell everybody else that your opinion is the right one and theirs is wrong. And what I see happening in social media, because it is easy for people to communicate that way with each other, especially when a community lives in a social or a virtual environment, I should say, is for everybody who is upset about, all of these people who are so excited about WildStar and you just don't share it, is to say, I don't get why you guys are so hyped up about this. Because now I can get to express my opinion about what I feel. Personally, I choose not to express that, because what good does it do? What purpose do you serve by telling somebody that you don't agree with what they like or what they are excited about or what they're talking about? And that's where I think we get to all the conflict, is because everybody feels like they have to say something in order to acknowledge the topic. But you don't. You don't have to. You can choose not to.
Yeah, there's a few people in the chat room who are stating that some people might fear losing their friends and not being able to talk to them anymore. So,
right.
So my thought on that is, so maybe they can try to convince them to come back by saying that other stuff is crap.
Yeah.
I would say to Warcraft players who are afraid of losing people to WildStar, you better hope WildStar does well. Warcraft's not going anywhere. There's too many players playing it at the moment. So don't worry about that being the death of Warcraft, but it helps. Competition is good for this type of stuff. It forces innovation and trying to be better than what you are to gain those people that you lost back. So better hope that WildStar sticks around, because boom, let's see, Blizzard needs some competition. John from Azeroth Roundtable has to deal with this because he is very pro WildStar, and he's not in love with Warcraft at the moment. So so he's hearing a lot of people saying, you talk about WildStar too much. Nobody cares about WildStar. Let's see what happens to WildStar in 10 years. And so he's got to deal with this. And he's just like, why can't two games just exist and we can all just play the games we like?
Yes.
Why do we have to get on each other for it?
Yeah, because as Arcane said in the chat room earlier, it's tribalism.
Yeah.
You pick your tribe. And what we often don't realize or understand is that as a gamer community, that is our tribe. That is our tribe. Everybody who plays games is part of that gamer tribe. Because if you go out there, so last night we were at the casino, we sat down at a blackjack table. We opened the blackjack table with a dealer who was just starting her shift. And Arcane was wearing a Titanfall t-shirt that he got in his latest loot crate, or the loot crate from a couple of months ago.
I have that one.
You have that one too.
Yeah.
So he's wearing his Titanfall shirt. The dealer says to him, it's a young female with blonde hair, and she says to him, "How do you like the game?" And we look at her, and she's got a Batman lanyard around her neck with her name tag on it. So all of a sudden, we realized that we were part of the same tribe. Immediately. It didn't matter if we played WildStar, if we played Titanfall, if we liked Batman, if we watched the videos, if we watched, if we read comics, if we watched movies. We were part of the same alliance of people who understood the genre of this type of thing. You're supportive of video games, you like comic, you like Marvel characters, that kind of thing. It's a tribe. And we loved her because she just connected with us immediately. We felt part of that. And then when we get into this kind of situation where we're in our World of Warcraft tribe of people, and that World of Warcraft tribe, all of a sudden there's a new tribe in town, it's called the WildStar tribe. And all of a sudden people who are part of the World of Warcraft tribe say, I want to see how the grass grows over on the WildStar tribe's camp.
They're interbreeding. It's disgusting.
But we don't understand, or we don't remember, I should say, that we all eat the same grass. It's all part of the same. So I get it. It's part of human nature. We separate ourselves into groups of people that understand, like-minded, feel comfortable, all of that. But when we get ourselves so narrow-minded into certain things, especially when it comes to gaming, this is what happens. When Svensson says, why are Warcraft players so close-minded and biased? This is not just Warcraft players. In my opinion, it is everybody on this planet has these kinds of biases, because when you look at someone who doesn't agree with the same things you agree with, that is separating yourself.
Let's drill this down just a little bit further. Within Warcraft, we just had this a couple of weeks ago. Azeroth choppers. Oh, obvious the Horde would win. Horde bias. Of course the Horde would win. Horde bias. Horde bias. Horde bias. All the Alliance people who lost in their crappy bike were complaining that there's Horde bias when it was voted on by the people who watched the show.
Yeah.
So how is that bias? That's just the people voted on the bike they wanted, whether it was biased or not. I mean, what I'm saying is we do this within our own quote-unquote community.
Right.
We split into tribes. Yeah. And we've been doing this throughout our history of being human beings. Mm-hmm. Several months ago, we had a question where I started making this point, is that we like to put ourselves into groups. Mm-hmm. We like labels, right? Yep. We like feeling a part of something. And then, we preach, everyone's got to be united and together and all is one, but we're still, those people are their own group. Mm-hmm. So,
right.
It's just, we've been doing this throughout our history, just splitting off into groups.
Yes. A Silent 01 said something very poignant in the chat room that I wanted to talk about, which is, he said, I listen to a lot of podcasts, WoW related. I'm not interested in WildStar. So if you only talk about WildStar, I choose not to listen, but I have nothing against the game. And that in itself is the crux of this. It is about what we're interested in and what we want to spend our time doing and who we want to spend our time with. So all of a sudden, you've got a group of people who are just, you're listening to or reading or watching on social media, and they're interested in WoW. And then they leave that interest level and go to something like WildStar. And then you feel that you no longer have a connection with them. That's great. Not great, but that's fine. That's acceptable. That's normal. Because if you don't share the same interest as someone, you're not going to hold an interest level in who they are and what they have to say. And I guarantee that if we decided that we started talking about WildStar, if you and I started playing the game, people would no longer listen to us because we're not talking about the game that they are so connected to. It's just because of an interest level. The time spent to listen to this podcast about World of Warcraft and its relationships that have in that game. Because it's an interest and it's a co-interest of us and our listeners. So when you're thinking about situations where people have you on social media and all they're talking about is WildStar, when 6 months ago all they talked about was raiding, you no longer have a connection with them. And then you feel a sense of loss, possibly. You feel a sense of disconnect, and maybe you just feel like I got to move on.
Yeah. And I mean, you can always unfollow somebody too, but you know, I've always wondered if, you know, what would happen if we stopped talking Warcraft all the time. And you're right. You know, some Warcraft fans would definitely, just as Asylum said, not want to listen anymore. So I mean, and you can choose where your interests are. Nobody's going to hold that against you. So,
right.
But however, if we went to a WildStar style podcast, we'd be able to capture some of that growing market.
Sure,
You know,
but I don't have an
economics
interest
here,
in
man.
WildStar,
No,
and neither
neither.
do you, so it would not really ring very true at
I
all.
could barely
so.
run the alpha. I couldn't get WildStar going.
Exactly. But it's funny that you say that you could always unfollow people, which I think is really, honestly, the most constructive thing for people to do. If you, instead of someone saying, okay, you know, you're being obnoxious, or I'm tired of listening to you, and you tell them, I'm tired of listening to you talk about WildStar, you do have that choice. And we've talked about this before on the show, is you do have that choice to just say, I'm going to move on and not hear what you have to say anymore. I'm not going to follow you on Twitter. I'm not going to be friends with you on Facebook. And maybe I'm not going to listen to your podcast anymore. You know, that kind of thing.
I found it funny. Now, you know me, I can't unfollow people. Even though I should, I can't unfollow.
This is something I don't understand
Yeah.
about you, and I'd love to understand why this is.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. I just want to make this point: is that
Okay.
there are people that I follow who left Warcraft for reasons, and WildStar was better, but now they're discovering these same reasons they left Warcraft exist in WildStar.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't unfollow Jules, because the story just gets better and better all the time. I love it.
So you're kind of like the person who enjoys watching a story unfold, and I do think you're very fascinated with just the human behavior condition.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to unfollow, because then I might miss something. And as much as I disagree with it, or think it's annoying, or just want to scream, I don't respond to any of it. But it fascinates me.
Yeah.
It fascinates me that someone or some people or anybody can just be so wrapped up in a certain subject that it's like their life revolves around it. And I want to say to them, my God, go outside. But I can't, because that's what they choose to do. That's the choices they've made in their lives. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I have my own opinions, whatever. I have to keep watching, and I have to keep reading. And I don't know why, and I don't want to, but I do.
It's very funny though, and for me, I'm kind of the exact opposite. If someone is being overtly negative, or like really, just if it's really negative, if it's hurtful, if it's all that stuff, I literally cannot stomach it.
Yeah.
And I must unfollow it, because it will bother me. It will eat at me, and I will think about it, and I find that it attaches to me almost, that I carry it with me.
Really?
Yeah.
I leave it at the door.
And I think that it's just my personality type. I think that I typically just, when I can sense people's emotions pretty strongly, especially certain people in my life. Like my father, I can literally feel exactly what he's feeling when he's stressed out or nervous or happy, or it's like I feel the same that he does.
Yeah.
And so social media, even though it's detached from that, I feel it really bothers me. And I can't, if someone is really negative, really upset, all the time, bitching, yelling, like that kind of stuff, I can't deal with it, and I unfollow them. So it's just because I just personally can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So
As soon as my Twitter app, my Facebook app closes, it all ends with me, you know? I just have to, I gotta watch a train wreck.
you like the train
I
wreck.
gotta watch a train wreck. I can't help. So, but yeah, Zandara says it in the chat room. Rem doesn't need reality TV when the internet provides it better. If
That
only
is
the
the
internet.
truth.
Yeah, if only the internet could provide Survivor, I could totally not watch TV anymore. So, there you go.
Could you imagine if Survivor had Twitter?
They-
Like if the survivors on the island had Twitter.
Oh, while they were on the island?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's actually kind of funny watching them now when they're off the island, and how if you pay attention, you can kind of get what's happening, because certain people are talking to each, like these two guys, Spencer and Tony, were tweeting at each other throughout the whole season. So you just knew at some point, they'd last a long time together.
Yeah.
In which they did. So CBS should probably put a stop to that. But it's fun. Yes.
It's funny. So I think to wrap up this discussion for the evening, it would probably be beneficial for a lot of people to remember that we are all part of the same tribe, even if we have different sub-tribes that we prefer to spend our time in as nerds, as gamers, as people who admire and enjoy things of a geeky and nerdy persuasion. We all share the same space. And it has scrolled past, but I don't remember who said this, but there was someone who mentioned going to PAX and how everybody felt like it was just like we were kindred spirits. And I cannot tell you how strongly that feels when you go someplace like a comic convention or BlizzCon. In a couple weeks, Kane and I are going to Nerdtacular in Utah. And that feeling of camaraderie and connection with people who are like-minded, even if we don't always share exactly the same interests, is really, really powerful. And it's hard because we are so disconnected from each other and not a person, like face-to-face kind of thing. So it's hard to remember that. But I do think it is something that we could do better at.
My final thought on this, Jules, is that many of you listening to this show preach unity, being as one, taking care of each other, and then you don't necessarily practice it. So start practicing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, support your fellow nerds. That's what we're going to.
Nerds. Yeah.
Thanks for a great discussion topic, Spence. And I know you didn't probably mean for this one to go this place, but it worked out well for us. So thank you for that.
That's Svensson. He's like my #1 fan.
He likes to watch you podcast.
He likes to watch me make a fool of myself.
Well, you like to make a fool of yourself. It's fun.
Yeah. You know who doesn't make a fool of themselves?
Who?
Doghouse Systems.
Oh, you're right.
That's right, because you know what? You can't make a fool out of yourself when you create and make and distribute the greatest gaming PC on the planet. Listen, I've played the Warlords Alpha, okay? You might need a Doghouse. You really might. So you should probably check it out, because if you want to see all those brand new character models underneath all that armor and great high-res detail, you're going to need something a little stronger than what you might have now, right, Jules?
Well, like you have. I am happy and lucky and very, very privileged to have a Doghouse system that has the Triple T logo on the side of it. But you guys could do the same. You can customize your Doghouse system both in power and in the look. You are able to customize the side panel with it, artwork of your choice, and Doghouse Systems lets you do that. So it will be around on your desk for quite some time. You might as well like looking at it from all sides, and to love what it does for the great graphics that you're going to need for Warlords of Draenor. We know it's coming. We know it's going to be there. So this is the time to use that money that you're maybe now that you've gotten past all of the expended, maybe you got your tax return finally. It's been a little bit later, but spend your tax return money that you've been saving to something awesome like a Doghouse system. Yeah. And you can get double the memory from Triple T if you go to doghousesystems.com and enter the code TTT at checkout.
That's right. You've got 6 to 22 months to do it before Warlords drops. So get on it. Doghousesystems.com, TTT at checkout. Double the memory on that brand new gaming system. Thank you so much, Doghouse, for your support. Thank you guys for supporting us and Doghouse Systems. And now, Jules, I believe it is time to do the Think Tank.
Torn between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
And now, the Think Tank.
Kind of stepped on your intro there,
I know what I did. I know.
All right, here's our question for the night. Hi, Rem and Jules. I've been a listener for about 1.5 years now, and this is my first time writing in. First, love the show and all you two do. I'm having an internal issue with myself involving WoW and my role as a GM and raid leader. The overall morale of our team is going down, but very down with a particular person. I like to keep things positive and really cheer the team along on our raid nights. This particular person hasn't been interested in playing outside of raid since the end of TOT. We are on Garrosh normal right now and making progression on the fight, which is nice, but this person really brings me down on how much any new news pertaining to WoW and seems to be starting to resent Blizzard. I listened to him for almost 15 minutes last night about how much he hated the new patch and hated Blizzard for allowing us to upgrade our gear. In his mind, it's a carrot for us to play the game and keep us paying for the product. I would agree, and I'm thankful for that carrot and thankful for things to do. We are all having a great time chatting about the player power and how it will help us finally kill Garrosh. We are 13 of 14 in normals. Talking upgrades, min-maxing. I'm really happy about the player buff and the player buff concept instead of nerf the content. I will also let you know that patch day in my house is like Christmas. The whole day is aglow. My wife, without playing WoW, always knows it's patch day because of how excited I am. So I was really taken aback when he entered Siege and in Mumble started ranting to me about how pissed he was about it. While clearing trash up to Garrosh, he vented to me. I explained I didn't understand the frustration and I was just here to have a good time. He continued. So we get up to Garrosh and my bubble was completely shattered. And here I am, the raid leader at the end boss on progression night. It's my job to pump up the team and get everyone motivated. I struggled to do that. I stood there for about 5 minutes looking at Garrosh thinking, I have to tell these people whom I love and love spending time with what to do and what to motivate them to do it. My motivation was gone. I was so demoted to heal the fight, demotivated to heal the fight, let alone to lead a team. I finally asked another team member to hop into another channel, and I laid out what happened and how I was feeling and asked him to help me get motivated again. Essentially, we had our own patch day party for about 5 minutes, and we continued the night. We got Garrosh further than any other night last night. It was good progression-wise, but it left me wondering, how do I handle this? Everyone on the raid team is a very good friend of mine, and I care that everyone on the team is having fun. This member loves to raid and hang out with us, but I think he genuinely hates WoW and resents Blizzard. He committed to finishing the tier 2 himself. I had asked him in the past if he would like to be replaced or to take a backup spot or take a break, and he was very hurt that I even asked. I love him and love hanging out with him, but everything new that happens breeds such strong negativity that I don't want to be around it, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. Sorry for the long email, and thanks for the feedback from Torrance.
All righty. It's that time of year, Jules.
Mm-hmm. So here is a situation where this is, I believe, a 10-man team. So you've got 9 people on the team who are very, very like-minded, focused. They are excited about this progression. They're excited about the way that Blizzard is helping them. And you've got one person on the team who does not agree with the mob.
Judging by the amount of time it seems like the grumpy person talks to Torrance, it seems like he's not venting that frustration to anybody else in the team. So Torrance is the brunt of his vent.
Possibly. Yeah, that's a good point.
So let's look at it this way, Torrance. This guy needs somebody to talk to, and you're it. And what he has to say to you doesn't necessarily cheer you up. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one because he's relying on you to be there for him as the raid leader and as somebody to listen and be a friend. And you can't take it anymore because it's bringing you down, man. So I do not envy your position right now because what you're going to have to do is going to be hard.
Yeah. Well, you know that whole phrase, actions speak louder than words?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a classic example of this. When you have a guy who his actions are that he vents and actively talks negatively about Blizzard's decisions, actions, their philosophy, doesn't agree with what they're doing in their rating tier. He actively disagrees with the fact that the choice was made with this patch to allow people to upgrade their gear instead of nerfing the content. But when asked if he wants to stop rating or he wants to go on to like a bench position, they're saying he was very hurt that he was even asked that question. I really don't think he understands what his actions are actually doing to his teammates.
He absolutely does not. He just needs a place to vent. He can sit there and not vent to Torrance and get angrier and angrier and angrier and finally quit the game, right? Or he has somebody to vent to, get his frustrations out, and then he's back on the team. He's killing bosses with you. 10 minutes of him arguing or complaining about something, and then it's over and Garrosh is almost down.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like it's affecting your team at all because you got Garrosh as far as you can get him, have gotten him that one night. I don't know if you've killed him by now. I hope you have. That'd be awesome.
No, well, and this email is about 2 weeks old, I think.
Okay. I mean, so this guy is just looking for somebody to vent to, and he's got nobody else. So Torrance happens to be it, and that's not fun for Torrance, obviously. So Torrance, what do? Well, you can keep on keeping on and ignore it and let him have his opportunity to vent so he can just get on with the raid and do his business. Or you can tell him you don't want to be you don't want to bear the brunt of his wrath anymore. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you do risk hurting his feelings because he doesn't know what he's doing to you. And then
he has no awareness of it at all.
Yeah. And then you're going to have this long, uncomfortable conversation between what I'm assuming is a couple of dudes. Right, Jules?
What I think is, this is something that I had actually, yeah, it's, and it's delicate, absolutely delicate situation when you've got someone who is in this mindset, and he is saying one thing and doing another. He is lacking awareness of what his actions are actually causing. So there is a way that you can do this, and it is literally this: to say to him, so do you need me to help you with this, or are you just venting? Because what that does is it actually puts him in the mindset to say, well, what am I doing? It's asking him to take action. Because when you've got someone who's complaining, but they're not offering any solutions to the problem, then it's not something that is, you can't help him if he doesn't want to be helped. But he is probably not even aware that he's doing this, and he's putting you in a position where he's negatively changing your feelings about the raid. And if you say to him, so can I help you with this, or are you just looking to vent? I'm going to sneeze.
Do it.
I'm just trying not going to sneeze.
Just sneeze.
I know, it just got stuck. Woo, that was not fun. So it will hopefully cause him to pause for a moment and think about what he really wants. Because I hate it when people complain about something and they never change it. So you hear all these people who are so upset about their job. They hate their job. They hate their boss. They hate this. They hate that. And all they do is talk about the negative. And sometimes people just want to vent and get it off their chest and have somebody listen. But when it's all the day, all the time, and it's all you talk about, is it really something that you enjoy doing every day? Or are you just ready to should you just go and change it? Because if you don't go change it, then it's on you. And if this guy hates Blizzard and hates the game and hates the direction that he's going, why is he still playing?
He's just bored.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really hates it. He's upset that they haven't had new content yet, and this happens. But to what you said, Jules, you're brilliant. That's brilliant. I was going to tell him you gotta have to sit down. You have to talk about your feelings with this guy and how it bothers you when he starts venting, and how you feel, and how does it make him feel when he's able to vent, and then how do you feel after he vents, and then we'll hug after. And that's what I was going to tell him to do. But by putting it on him and saying, are you venting, or are you going to do something about it?
Well, and it's taking the responsibility partly on yourself to say, is there something I can help you with this, or are you just venting?
Yeah.
It makes him have to make a decision of, no, I'm just venting. Okay. Well, okay, if you want to vent, I'll listen to you. But just know that I'm here to listen to you, but I really don't agree with much of what you're saying here. And maybe we could talk about that if you really want to get into that.
After raid.
Yeah, after raid, we can talk about it. But you're actually causing me to feel, you're making it harder for me for me to do my job when you're venting to me during the raid. I want to be here for you and I want to listen to you. But during the raid is not the time to do it.
Yeah, so you need to focus.
It will take him out of his own head, because people are selfish. I'm sorry, but they are. And they're very self-centered sometimes. They're very self-focused. They don't often think about how what they're saying affects somebody else. It's just, I've got to get this out and I've got to say it and I'm just rawr.
Mm.
And when you rawr all over somebody, if you're
Sounds
someone
dirty.
like, when you rawr or something, yeah. When you get that way and you go after somebody with your anger and your frustration, okay, you dumped it all over this other person, but what do they do with it? What do they do with it? So I got to say to him, he just needs some self-awareness. And I don't think he's a bad guy. It doesn't sound like he's a bad guy. It just sounds like he just doesn't get how his actions are affecting you, affecting your ability to lead the team, to keep your morale high, and it's affecting your enjoyment of the game. You're so excited about patch day that it's like Christmas. And I mean, I hate this term, but it's the only thing that's popping into my head. He's harshing your mellow. He's just taking your happiness, you're chill, you're happy, you're excited, and he's just like, he's basically just throwing a bucket of slime on you and just said, whatever.
So many show titles.
I know, I'm all over the place.
Yeah. Tauren's also raid leading is hard, and dealing with a raid member who's bringing you down is even harder. Don't envy. So good luck. But that person who you brought into a separate Mumble channel and got motivated with again, make sure you thank them, because that's important. When you have somebody who can just keep you motivated like that when times are tough, you can't beat that. Just have your own little personal motivation machine.
Well, and the person who was asked to do that is probably feeling pretty special.
Yeah.
That you felt that they could be the person to help bring you back up again and feel positive. That's a compliment in itself, but definitely thank them. They will really appreciate you for saying, thank you for making me feel better after I was feeling so low. And it's hard to tell somebody who is being negative and frustrating and just demotivating that they're doing this. But honestly, if you can do it in a way that's subtle enough without being, harsh about it, then you can help them understand how they project to other people. There are so many people out there that could use this lesson. There are so many people who have that lack of self-awareness of what they say and how they portray themselves and how people perceive them. And this person may very well think that he is a positive person who loves things, and he doesn't even realize it, because you will be surprised with how many people are out there who have no clue how people really perceive them. If they were asked to write it down honestly to someone and say, I think Rem does this and this and this, and you're like, what the hell? I don't do that. I don't do that. So
What?
I didn't do that. And then you look at it and say, they're full of crap.
You're just making stories up, man.
Yeah, you're just making it up. No, it's how they feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to have some validity to it. So, yeah, that is our advice to you, Torrance. This is not easy, but hopefully the technique that I mentioned, that I suggested, will work for you. If anything, to just start building his self-awareness of how he's treating you. And it's not going to be an overnight change, but maybe he'll be a little bit more willing to listen to you when you say, hey, you know what? I want to listen and want to help you and want to support you, but can we do this another time?
This is kind of like one of those things. They taught us this in school. When this goes back to the greeting thing, right? So like when you say how you doing, and they start bringing you down, it's like, oh man, my head hurts. It's raining, and then all you have to do is like tell them your own sad story, and it's supposed to stop them. I don't know if that works.
Well, and
I'm not telling Torrance to do it, but
no. It's not. It is, but it's such a testament to how our relationships go. Because if you've got a situation where you've got someone who literally crosses you in passing, is like, hey, how you doing? And you tell them your sob story about your head hurting and you didn't sleep well last night, they don't want to hear that. Now, if the person sits you down and says, Rem, I'm concerned about you because there's been some changes in your behavior. What's going on? And you talk about, I just haven't been able to sleep well and my head's been hurting for a week. That's a person who really wants to know what's going on with you because they care.
Yeah.
And there's a shortage of that, mainly because we're so busy. We have interactions with so many people.
Self-centered and selfish.
Yeah. But it's also impractical to think that when you pass someone on the street that you kind of know and you're like, hey, how's it going? That you're going to have the time and want to spend the time to find out that their head is hurting and they haven't been sleeping well. Because most of the time we just use that as a politeism.
Yeah.
So because we're busy and we have to be self-centered and selfish sometimes because of time and commitment and relationship with people. But there's for the people that truly matter, that you feel that are truly friends, you can take the time and sit aside and say, what's going on? How are you? What's shaking? How's the day been going for you? And you really want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just knowing the difference.
Long story short, when the mailman you've never met before asks you how you are, don't tell him you just put your mother in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a mood killer. Sorry for your loss, dude.
You might want to just carry a couple sympathy cards in your bag. Just be like, I'm sorry you've had a bad day today. Your mailman loves you.
The opposite of those awesome cards you have.
Yes. I used an awesome card yesterday, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yesterday, Thursday, my coworker, one of my coworkers is a certified Zumba instructor. And if you don't know what Zumba is, it's kind of it's a cardio dance kind of routine fitness class. And she's really good. And I didn't know this. And so I had suggested to her, maybe we can do something once a week do a lunchtime class. And she was totally for it. And she kicked our butts, but she was so fun and it was awesome. So I brought this card over and I said, by the way, I have this card. I just want to give it to you. And it was something that I came up with on the show that I do. And she was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you. And she gave me a hug. And so it was really cool. So I used an awesome card on Thursday.
You talking about your Zumba got me thinking about the hot yoga place. And I was there this morning and it's so funny because it's in the middle of a neighborhood and these people come out just drenched. Absolutely drenched, wearing hardly anything in the middle of this neighborhood at 9:30 in the morning. I just laugh. I just have to stare and I laugh at these people. I mean, it's good. They're getting healthy and all that. And they love it. That's fine. But just coming out in the middle of a residential neighborhood, drenched in sweat, wearing nothing, and it just you start. Yeah. So thank you, Torrance, for writing in. I hope we gave you some things to think about and you can work through this situation with your friend and it gets better.
Yes, and this one would be good to have an update on, see how things go. I would love to see how this happens for you and how things progress.
That's right. So you can send your questions in to the Think Tank, questions at torrenthinktank.com, and send them in because we got a show to do.
Give us work to do.
Yeah, but the mailbox is always open, and we're always happy to take them and discuss them. Jules, let's if you're ready, we can move it on to some Tell Us One Thing.
Let's do it.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Alrighty, let's get started from Samara. Is that Samara?
Yes.
Okay. I'm hold on 1 second. There it goes. If you left WoW for good, where would you park your main before you log out for the very last time?
This is a tough question for me. I don't know if I would purposefully put my main someplace because it was time to go. Like, it would be interesting if there would be something like a farewell tour. Like, if you were going around and you were saying goodbye to all your friends.
On Twitter.
Like, on the last day of, it was like your last day of work.
Yeah.
And everybody comes by your desks and give you hugs and gives you stuff and wishes you well. But if it's your last day of WoW, I don't think that would be the kind of thing that you would do. So, I don't know. I guess I would say Stormwind because that's where I always seem to put my character.
Zug has a good point. If you're leaving WoW for good, why would you care?
That is a very good point, sir.
But
thank you, Zug.
Let's have fun with this. If I leave WoW for good, Remgar the Tauren is going to be dead. All right? He's going to die.
You're going to make sure he's dead before you log out?
No. I'm going to go lay down somewhere. And that's where he died, right in the woods.
Dude, you should go do a lawn dart on yourself. You should go to like a high place and just jump off, die in a field, and then log out.
I don't want to commit suicide. That's dark.
Blaze of Glory.
Okay. All right, maybe I'll go into Dragon Soul, and I'll fight Deathwing, and then die.
Die a single. Oh,
Died saving the world.
I love it. You're running in there, and Deathwing is there, and he's like, Remgar.
I'm like, bring it, bitch.
And suddenly you're Jesse Pinkman.
Yes. And then I die, and Thrall has just enough time to destroy him. So Thrall could be the hero, but it was because of me. If it wasn't for me, sacrificing myself. I like the story.
I would get myself to whatever current content was the final boss, and then I would say, okay, I'm gonna make sure I die on this final fight. This is my last hurrah. It's my last raid. I'm going to die in this fight because the boss has taken me out, and the team will surround me and say, Joanna was something to be remembered.
Yeah, and then Derevka reses you.
God damn it, Derevka, don't res me. You just ruined my hero moment.
That's right. Your sacrificial moment.
My hero moment is ruined because of a priest.
Marconin would come ruin mine.
Just shut up, Rem. Get on your feet. That's great. I love it. From Zandara, do you like to garden? If so, what's your favorite thing to grow? Flowers, edible plants? And if not, why?
I don't have time for a full garden. I love the idea of a garden. We've always had one when I was a child. So
yeah.
I got a tomato plant last year, and I left it out one night and it froze. And so it kind of died. But then it came back to life, and I was so excited that it had new little sprouts on it. And I got like a couple really small tomatoes off of it.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, but whatever.
I do not like to garden. I do not enjoy gardening outdoors or any type of plant growing. I kill plants. The longest time I have kept a plant alive, I got a gift of a plant from a customer that I worked with at my previous job she was so happy with the service that I provided that she sent me this beautiful plant, and it was like a flowering plant, and literally could not get this thing to flower ever after it first came to me. And people were trying to help me. It was sitting on my desk. They're like, oh, put this kind of thing on it. Put this kind of thing on it. And I'm like, I don't know. But I managed to keep it alive and then I brought it home, and it slowly started to just die off. And I could not, I'm like, I can't. I have the worst. I am like super kitty mom. I can take care of 3 cats and juggle everything else. But when it comes to plants die.
You don't have the green thumb, you have the brown thumb.
Mine is the brown thumb.
Yeah.
Not because of bad things, by the way.
Yeah. See, Jules, you just ruined it. From the chat room, from Zafira, tell me one thing. Your main is going into alt status. Would you change your name in vent/mumble to your new main?
Oh, yeah. I've done this, actually. Unless you're just known by that certain name. For the longest time, I played my paladin, and I was always known as Jessamine or Jess for short. That was my nickname. Everybody knew me that way. And slowly it started to transition to Jules when I started playing my druid, to the point where everybody started to know me as Jules, and then I made the change in Mumble. But it didn't happen overnight, no.
With me, it's always going to be Rem, because I'm just Rem now at this point. All my characters name Rem something. But it was funny that with Fit, Fit's tune in Cataclysm was named Fit.
Yep.
Right. And then he made his monk, which monk was named Mami Nori, and he even changed to Mami Nori in Mumble, but we still called him Fit.
Right.
Yeah, we never changed. So
yeah,
I guess it depends on how long you were something.
Yes.
And if people are willing to make the change with you and how well you enforce it.
Yeah, like I remember Alanu had changed his character a couple times, and he was playing mains, but we always called him Alanu.
Yeah.
It was never going to be anything different. And so that's just, sometimes you just get to know somebody under that name, and if they change mains, it doesn't make sense to change your name of the way you know them. It's just, this is that person.
Our old GM wanted us to start calling her by her real name, but we just refused and we kept calling her a character's name.
Yeah, we did for the longest time. And she's like, no, I'm not playing that character anymore. Don't call me that. It was like, we've called you that character name for 5 years. It's no.
Yeah, we're going to change. No.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. From Nadnerb, you are given $400 to buy one of the new game consoles. It's required. Xbox One or PS4?
What are you playing?
I think I would choose the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because of the TV features that it's now integrated in it, because my love for television and all things television would probably trump it. I don't think PS4. We have a PS3 and we have an Xbox 360. And if I'm going to watch Netflix or any of like Amazon Prime, I'll watch it on my PS3. But on Xbox, I think I would probably switch everything over to that.
I would ask my friends or Twitter, because Twitter's my only friends. But I would I'd see what the majority of them said and then get that, because then I'd be able to play with more people.
Yeah, I think I don't know. They're both good consoles now, but I am not a console gamer, so I don't have a draw towards any certain games that would push me there.
I'd probably have to take one of more kids' titles, because my children would take it over.
Yeah, exactly.
And break it.
Yes, they would.
Mm-hmm. From Chief Vol'jin, we know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, but how many licks does it take to get to the center of a normal-sized Jawbreaker?
Jawbreaker, huh?
Like infinity licks.
Jeez, those things are nasty.
Yeah.
And the Jawbreaker, when you're someone with TMJ, like I am,
that's offensive. That's an
the thought of a
offensive term.
Jawbreaker makes me want to curl up in a ball and just cry.
Yeah, Chief, you need to back off. But let's talk about this for real though. You don't lick a Jawbreaker. You don't.
How
lick
do you
Tootsie
eat a
Pop.
Jawbreaker? You just suck on it.
You just suck on it for 16 hours.
But aren't they the size of a baseball?
Basically.
How do you keep that in your mouth and do stuff?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like, talk, Ram.
Next question.
Wow. Okay, this conversation. Seriously, how do you talk with a Jawbreaker in your mouth?
You don't. That's the beauty of it. People want to talk to you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. At least we killed the chat room. That was
Yes,
fun.
we did. It took them 5 minutes to hear it, but
I know. Thanks, Twitch delay.
Yeah.
From Memeth, what WoW phrase / meme best describes your WoW play since you started playing?
What?
So I guess if you can think of like a WoW phrase, so like, soon TM, or you are not prepared, or I will paint your face with my blood.
Your magic betrays you.
Betrays you.
Yeah. Boy, for the longest, you know what? I'm going to go with you are not prepared.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the one you choose?
Because I was a terrible raid leader when it came to strategy. So I was never prepared for strategy. That's why I gave it to Alano. Yeah.
Oh, this one's hard because I'm trying to think of all the ones that are out there, but oh gosh. I wish someone would give me this one in the chat room, because I'm just like, I can't figure out which one it would be. I mean, my WoW play style has pretty much been like never ending. I've never taken a break from the game or anything like that. So I don't know.
Your pathetic magic betrays you because you're a healer, and the magic that the enemy's casting on your team members isn't going to work because you're going to heal out of them and keep them alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This
one I'm sucking at. Unless someone can give me something, I'm probably just going to have to just beg off because I can't do it.
Yeah. Jules, wait, what's your name? Julana the Night Elf. Beg off.
Beg off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From Taxman CDN. Wow, that's weird. What would it take to get Rem to Zumba and post the video online?
This is related to the Zumba class we did. Yeah. So do you know what Zumba is?
I could probably figure it out.
It's basically like, aerobic dance to Latin music.
Latin aerobics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Salsa.
Kind of, yeah. You're doing salsa moves. You're doing cha-cha moves.
A lot of movement with your hips.
Lots of hip action.
Yeah. Bring the shoulders around like you're doing in the stream.
Rotate your shoulders.
Moving the feet a lot in just a very small area.
Yep. Doing lots of toe tapping and side to side. And
I learned how to salsa when I worked at a convalescent home.
Really?
Yeah. I worked with a dude who liked to dance, and he taught me
That's cool.
in the laundry room.
Taught you how to salsa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can't do it very well, but I know basics. Okay, so what would it take to post the video online? I don't know. I mean, I've done lots of stupid stuff for free, so why not do something else? I don't know. Sometimes maybe I take a little bit of offense to this question. Am I here for your entertainment? Am I your dancing monkey people? Right? I don't understand.
Yes, you are a dancing.
All right, well, if that's the case, then probably not much. Probably, I don't know, work for me. I would record it, then you can just edit it and post it because I don't do any of that stuff.
I am really bad at it, by the way. It's funny as heck to watch me do it.
You just started. Wait, do you have tape of it?
No, there's no video of it. I was laughing so hard when we were doing this because she's got these great songs and they're all Latin infused, all that kind of thing. There's this one song, and I don't even know who sings it. I don't know. I've never heard this song before, but it was about someone singing about how I like them chunky. And so it was like, I like them chunky, chunky. And I'm like, whoa, okay, this is fun. So if you guys find it on the internet, you can tell me who sings it, or I could look it up myself. But I was laughing so hard at this song when we were doing it that I couldn't follow her dance.
You were laughing during Zumba?
I was cracking up.
Is it Zumba or Zumba?
Zumba.
Zumba.
Zumba. Z-U-M-B-A.
Mm-hmm.
Zumba.
I feel like that's what they do after they score goals in the World Cup.
They probably do, especially
Zumba.
the Brazilians. Yes.
No, that's capoeira.
Oh, that's martial arts, though.
They don't do capoeira.
No, they don't.
Even I know that, idiot.
Silly. Oh. Finally, from Al the Mage, which house from Game of Thrones do you think you belong in, and which one do you wish you were in? Bah, can't speak anymore.
All right. Well, I guess this is going to depend on how we think of ourselves.
Yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I would probably be a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm. Because you like dragons.
Because I like dragons and that kind of and the magic part of it. But so it would be probably the Targaryens is where I would be in. And I would not want to be a Stark, even though they're probably the nicest group of people. They're
Losers.
very, very, very tragic, and they all die.
Losers.
Spoilers.
They don't all die, Jules. My God, what are you doing?
House Tully is just boring. And then you've got House Bolton. They flay people. No, thank you. The Baratheons are a messed up group. The Lannisters are like crazy stupid and demented. Who is Marjorie with? Who's Marjorie with?
Tyrells.
The Tyrells. I think I would wish to be part of the Tyrells.
Growing strong.
Yes.
Those are the words. Yes.
What would you do?
Marjorie's beautiful, isn't she?
Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
I love her.
Okay. What house do I wish I was in? I wish I was in House Martell. Because those Dornish people love the party.
That's true.
Which is great.
And Svensson, yes, that is the song, by the way. It's from Madagascar 2, and it's like, I like them big, I like them chunky. That's the one!
It's horrible. Right. So I wish I was in House Martell. I probably belong in, I don't know. Where would I belong? I don't know what type of person I am.
You belong in Dorne.
Yeah, I belong there too, right? I wish I was in House Martell, and I belong in House Martell.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess.
All right. There you go.
Thank you guys for your Tell Us One Thing questions. Check it out on Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. Tell Us One Thing Thursday. We put the tweet out. You give us some questions. We have fun with them. It's cool. And if you ever think of something, you can send them to us through our email, questions@taurenThinkTank.com, or on Facebook, facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. We do love them. We have lots of fun, as you can tell. So now we got a little bit of feedback. Feedback. Jules, if you wouldn't mind.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for the explanation of bullying/trolling. I think I understand now. Bullying equals how to harm, and troll equals to provoke. I'm not sure if either of you are going to BlizzCon, but if you see my purple head wandering around, please feel free to say hi. Hugs from Kitab.
Hi, Kitab.
Hi. Yep, I'll be there. I'll be at BlizzCon.
Yeah, you will.
I will not have purple hair, but that's okay.
Are you going
I
to
like
color your hair this year?
No.
Oh.
You know what? It was great for me to have the blue hair for BlizzCon. It took me so long to get it out of my hair because it was permanently dyed.
Yeah.
It took probably about, I want to say it probably took 5 months for my hair to finally get rid of it fully. I had like just a stubborn streak that would not come out, and every time we would dye it, it would go back to like that greenish, purplish, bluish color, and I'm like, no, I want this gone, so I won't do that again.
Pain in the butt. Yeah. G'day, Tauren Think Tank. Was listening to episode 103 about the racism and personal voice on the internet. I believe that the internet is like a radio. Each radio station is a person, their voices, and even their favorite music. And when I'm listening to the radio and a song or a topic comes up that I don't like, then what do? Change the station. Listen to something I want to, find someone who has a voice I agree with, or make me laugh. So I say unfollow the people you don't like, or just add them to an ignore list like a radio. Favorite good stations and forget the bad ones. P.S. Jules FM. 101.rem FM and T.3 AM are great stations to listen to. Just a thought, Spaz Wesson.
Thanks, Spaz. It's very true, and it's kind of tying back into our discussion topic. If you don't enjoy what someone is saying, you do have the choice to change the station.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Just move on.
That's right. From Twitter, the Nocturnal said, that was a great discussion on the podcast. I know exactly how Rem feels about family gatherings.
That was terrible.
I think a lot of people actually really agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I'm trying to be real careful about what I put out there for situations with my family, because I found out the hard way that they happened to listen to an episode where I was talking about that thing. That didn't go well. So I'm going to be very selective about what I say. But it's just when it's that stringent, and the family gatherings can be that way, it's hard. You don't know, if you don't upset the apple cart, then everything's fine.
Yeah, and everything's fun, so that's why you don't upset the apple cart. From Blue for 2, listening a bit late, being the older generation, I have to say there were and are lots of us not ignorant or racist.
I don't think we were saying that everybody in that generation was that way.
No.
I don't think that I truly don't believe that. I know that there are a lot of people who are tolerant, but what I was saying is that when you do have situations of intolerance and racism, that it typically tends to be someone who is in the older generation when it happens.
Yeah,
it happens
times.
all over, but it's also happening in our generation and the younger generation from us too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all over the place. But it's a great point, Bluefer, and we agree with you 100%.
From Ever Studious, just listen to the complete Julesbot saga. Laugh so hard at the "So should we kiss or something?" line. Thanks, Tauren Think Tank and Remgar. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
As I said on Twitter, give all credit for that line goes to John.
That was damn funny.
Yeah,
That's
it sure was.
writing.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I still listen to it.
It's good work. It's very good work.
It.
From Steven on Facebook, in episode 103 at 51 minutes and 42 seconds, right after Rem had gotten done with a long discussion of being racist versus just unaware, Rem dropped the gypped bomb, which is a term that can be offensive to people of Romani descent. Was that intentional or unintentional irony? Just wondering. P.S. Cheesehead is always good. Go Bucky. Go Bucky.
I would like to apologize to the people of Romania for offending all of you by saying the word gypped. And if you are offended, please write me if you're from Romania.
Well, I have to be completely transparent. I've never understood. I didn't know that could be offensive. I didn't know that.
Apparently, it's derived from gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how
that
gypsies.
Makes sense.
But I mean, if gypsies did steal from you, no, I'm not going to get into that.
Okay, no.
No, there are words that we've been using throughout for a very long time, and we have no idea where they come from. We just use them as part of our language, and we don't mean to offend people with them. It's not our intention. And if somebody does find offense with that, I'm sorry.
Well, and I mean, this raised awareness to me, and I actually have used that term in the past many, many times, and I didn't realize that it could be considered offensive to that group. So I've chosen not to use it anymore just because I don't want to offend people. But I didn't know. And I don't think you did either.
Also, let the offended people be offended. Don't be offended for them. I'm sorry I said it. I'm sorry.
We were talking prior to the show that Rem was listening to Adam Carolla's podcast, and this was the topic of conversation, where the guest on the show, what was he of?
His name was Ian Edwards, and he was a black man of Jamaican and English descent, and the point was made that let the offended group decide what's offensive to them. Don't decide what's offensive for other people. Is basically the point of it. And so a lot of the things he's heard that other people say that we have deemed offensive, he wasn't offended by at all. It just became a big deal when other people who weren't the attendees were making a big deal out of it.
Yeah. It's interesting that happens, and it does happen a lot. So
every day in our country, people are deciding what's offensive for other people. And I'm not giving an excuse to being, there is no excuse to offensive talk, offensive language, none whatsoever. But let's I don't know, Jules. I don't know what's happening. Everybody,
the rules change. The rules change every day, all the time. And my parents will often use the term Oriental, and not regarding a rug. And if you say that, apparently now that's an offensive term. You're supposed to use Asian and not Oriental. And I've told them that, but it's something that they have just known, and they're not trying to be racist. It's just that was okay for a long time. And suddenly it's not. And then you have to learn through other people, well, that term is not acceptable anymore. And now we've just learned that the term gypped, and it's JYP, I think is the way it's spelled. We've been gypped out of that. Yeah. Is now not acceptable to be used as well. So I will change how I approach it. So interesting stuff, though.
I want a Romanian person to tell me they're offended by it.
Okay. Well, if we have someone who is of Romanian descent and wants to let us know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's Romanian. I think it's Romani, which is also the gypsy culture.
Okay. I don't know. That's right. I also tend to think that we are super sensitive here in the United States, and it's not as sensitive outside of the United States. And so any of you guys like Australia, England, our Swedish listener, the dude in Iraq who listens, I'd actually like to know if this stuff if you guys are as sensitive to these type of things, the offensive terms and all that in your countries as we are here. Mm-hmm. Because we do a lot of feeling sorry for, feeling guilty. We do a lot of feeling guilty for ourselves and or for other people. And so I'm just wondering if it's like that anywhere else too.
It's a good point. It is a good point. Language is tough, man. There's so many little nuances that you just don't know. So now that we've gotten past that, lovely. Yeah.
But I do. Who's the guy? Steven, that you got the timestamp on it, 51:42. I'm gonna have to listen because I don't remember even saying that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I've used that term in the past. I don't know if I've done it on the show or not, but I know I've used it.
I'm sure I have. It's funny that you had the timestamp, so now I can go back and listen.
Exactly.
So that with the feedback, guys, we do love it. Thank you so much. We're gonna do some slash moves. Take the first one, Jules.
I'll take the first one from Nadnerb. Slash moo to Spanx and Az for being amazing people and great friends I met in WoW. You guys are the shiz. Keep it reals, ESE.
From Fate 3000, as an Omaha resident, a huge slash moo to all the bars showing the World Cup instead of the College World Series.
From Memeth, slash moo to Severa AIE, who got Maui Moo, a Tauren Druid Kitty to 90 this week.
From Spaz Wesson, slash moo to Jen Morton01, while Hulhauser for craving Australian food, and at Revendon for Cosby Tim Tam and random ramblin'.
From Shieldbearer CTR, slash moo to my raid team, the Boats and Hosen, for providing 6 hours of laughter every week. Let's get heroic Thok down. Also, slash moo to Midnight for helping me feel a little less scared and broken when my dumb brain tries to say otherwise.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, actually, I did want to talk about that one.
All right. I feel sad when people think they're broken.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Because I don't think anybody's broken. I think you are who you are, and those things make you who you are. And sure, there might be things we need to work on, and we can accept ourselves better or the world around us. But I don't think anybody's broken.
Well, I agree with you too. I think we're very hard on ourselves very often when it happens. The other thing that I really took from this one, it kind of warmed my heart, is that because of the game, possibly this show, the community that's been built around these two share the same guild. It's something that allowed them to connect together to be a support to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me so happy to see. And I love it when even just the Twitter community, people who have those, as we said, like-minded interests, wind up connecting and finding common ground and are able to support each other through challenging times. And it's genuine and it's personal. It's not just people fishing for attention. It's truly someone reaching out to give someone support that needs it. It's really, really cool to see that. And it's as cool to see something like a raid team providing 6 hours of laughter every week where you get people who come together and have fun. This is what it's all about, and I don't think we remember it as often as we should. Yeah. But I will give the hashtag because of WoW to this one. I love it. It makes me happy.
That's awesome. And from Valen EU, /moo to the folks at Girl Gone Wild Show for letting me waffle on their great podcast /cheer.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
All right, guys, you can find us on iTunes, and if you do, go ahead and subscribe, because subscribing is awesome. And leave us a review. 4 stars, 5 stars are great. We do like reviews. You can find us on Stitcher. Give us a thumbs up if you find us, because that's cool. And you can also leave us reviews on Stitcher, too. And I'm talking really fast. I'm mumbling over my words.
You know what's really cool? And I just want to take an aside. At Midnight in the chat room says that Nate was her random greeter when she joined Convert to Raid Guild, and now he's become one of her best friends. He was the person who invited her into the guild, and now she is a greeter as well. So again, this is the stuff that makes people. This is what makes us together, and I love it. So,
that's right.
Yay.
You can also find us on the BlackBerry Podcast Directory and, of course, the Xbox Podcast Directory. And you know what? Tell a friend. You like the show, you think a friend of yours would like it, go ahead. Let them know about us. And maybe we can bring more people together because it's awesome. Totally.
I love it. I love seeing people come together because of WoW, because of the podcast, because of Twitter. Keep it going. Meet more people.
Right. Meet more people. All right. Jules.
Ram.
What you got going on?
A couple things this week. Number one, I was a guest host on the Starting Zone podcast last Sunday. I don't know when they're releasing the show, but it was on their live stream on Twitch, and I don't know if it's out there or not. I haven't seen anything come out, so hopefully you'll check it out. We talk about the latest news in WoW, and we also talk about the Druid changes coming in Warlords, which is kind of cool. So check it out. It's called The Starting Zone with Mick Montgomery is who I was working with, and he's really, really fun. The other thing to plug this week is I Remembered It Better. This week, our third co-host, Ryan, was on vacation, so we invited in a gentleman who is very familiar with Revan Geek, Cliff, who is the host of the show. He's actually a good friend, old college friend, and radio partner, and he is a voiceover artist. And if you've ever wanted to listen to a voiceover artist talk about their craft, he has a very nice long discussion about, and we talk about this, about what it's like to be a voiceover artist and the types of things that you do in terms of just doing voices and acting and embodying a character, as well as talking about a whole bunch of geeky stuff. And so check out I Remembered It Better. It's right now on iTunes and Stitcher, and you can hear the show. Our guest is Bob Ball, and he's a blast. He's very funny. So that's my stuff for the week.
All right. I'm watching the chat room. Everybody's giving hugs and saying hi, and you guys are awesome. I love the chat room.
I love our chat room.
I love the chat room. It's awesome. We recorded a show last night. We did a random ramblings, and we did the /moo for it. It was myself, John, Huel, and Jen. We had a good time. If you wanted to hear Bill Cosby do a commercial for Tim Tams, you should probably check it out. Yeah, the recording's not very good because my computer sucks. But, I mean, you get through it. But we have fun. And also, if you... also on the Stormcast, you can find a Pot of Ice and Fire Monday nights. We're going to recap our last episode of Game of Thrones on Monday. So you join us at twitch.tv/thestormride. Be in the chat room at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And if you have questions, we can answer them. And it'll be myself, John, Jen, and Jessica Chaos, who is hanging out with us as our book expert.
Nice.
Also, I'm expecting a new Lockheed Journals on the way this coming week. And, of course, stay tuned for Realm of Books when Rayanne releases her new episode. And to those of you in my area, July 12th, we're looking to get together at Kineticon. We're trying to set up something at a little chicken wing place. where we can hang out, have a couple drinks, and say hi to everybody. We've got a bunch of you who've already expressed interest or have already determined that you're coming. That's awesome. I can't wait to meet everybody who does show up. July 12th.
That's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. We can wish Jules a happy birthday. We'll send her a video.
Yeah, that's my 40th birthday.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I have to stop. I need a younger co-host. This is ridiculous.
I know. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah. And also for that July 12th stuff, just follow me on Twitter at Remgar, R-E-M-G-H-A-R. So all the details will be coming out there for the most part because they're going to happen quick. Other than that, that's it. Jules.
Rem.
I think we did an okay show tonight.
I think we certainly did.
You ready to stop doing it?
For tonight. Let's bring this baby home.
Let's do it.
Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find us outside of the show on our website, TaurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. There's also a donate button on the site, so if you like what we do and would like to support our show by sending us a donation and getting Jules to fly out here in a professional podcast studio every weekend, that's a great way to do it.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank, and you can find Rem at Remgar, R-E-M-G-H-A-R, and me, Jules, at Jules RPG. You can also chat with us and other members of the Moo Crew on our forums. Give those boards some love at forums.signalsmedia.com. So basically everybody I host a show with on Storm Ride has a name that starts with J. Except for you. Except for me. Do you know how confusing that is? It drives you crazy. Special thanks to Arcane, the Arcane Kane, who is older than Jules and won some money at the casino. He did. Yeah, for his voiceover work and chat room wrangling. And, of course, to you guys, the chat room, thank you guys for being here with us tonight. We do love having you all in the chat room. It is so much fun. And to watch your conversations is sometimes distracting, so I need to pay better attention. Yeah, I know. Don't forget your triple t-shirts at slashloot.com. There are 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. Guys, you can join us every Saturday night. That's when we're here. At twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And if we're going to be a different night, we'll, of course, tell you. But come join us. Hang out. The chat room is awesome. And we have fun. Mm-hmm. Jules. We do. Rem. Any last words? Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the show tonight. Thank you, chat room. Thank you, Rem. Thank you, Arcane. And we will see you next week for another great show. Send us your questions. That's right. Oh, I forgot to thank everybody who's listening on a download because they're listening right now. Yes. Boom. I like doing that. I don't know why. I just have fun with it. All right. Send us your questions at taurenThinkTank.com. We do a job. We love doing it, and we want to bring you together because we love you. Thank you so much for Jules, for Arcane, for me. Until next time, /moo, everybody. /moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really? Really?
Masha!
Is this going on YouTube too?
Yes.
So I noticed when I was watching a YouTube video, because, you know, I'm so vain, I was watching myself at the end when I do all the stuff, and I'm just like staring at my computer screen, and it's not, I have to smile more at the camera.
You do. You have to move it around a little bit. You got to funk it up. Because
it looks like I'm not having fun.
Funk it up.
Funkify.
Funk it up.
Funkify, Julesy. Funkify.
Funkify.
Funkify. Funkify in your eye.
Funkify. Okay, that song. Go scroll up and click that link that Svensson put up there. Stop my recording. For the video for that song, because you will listen to this and you will laugh.
Svensson, relink it. I don't want to scroll up.
I'll link it. Hang on.
I'm busy. What was this? 104?
104 it is.
Got to edit tonight. I don't want to edit on Father's Day.
Nope, you'll edit it tonight. We got done a little early, so you can edit tonight. There.
Mama.
There's the link.
Oh, I didn't do Rem is right?
Rem is right.
There you go. Oh my god. Oh my god, this isn't a kid's movie?
Yes!
It's like this naked hippopotamus.
So you think about dancing to this in an aerobics
This was in your
class.
Zumba class?
Yes.
Oh my God. Plumpy? What the hell is going on? Nothing wrong with loving Chunky? I mean, the message is fine. I have no problem with the message of the song, but I don't know if it's appropriate for a children's movie. They just put two butts together and made a heart.
Hippo singing it, and he's chunky.
The hippo just made a heart with his butt. This was in your Zumba class,
Yes,
really?
it was.
How can you focus on Zumba?
I was laughing so hard I couldn't stop.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I like him chunky.
Plumpy, plumpy, plumpy.
I thought it was great. See?
Oh my God, there's a guy in the chat room who's Solo Mio.
This song is really funny. I think this is great.
Mm-hmm. Does it make you happy?
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Little things like that make me happy.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's cool.
So there you go, guys. That's a show for you. Do you want me to write you notes tonight?
No, I'll post it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, you can write notes in the morning.
Okay, and I will do that. Kane did a research, a lot of links tied to Zumba classes. Well, it's a good song to dance to. That's for sure.
It's only 2 minutes long.
They made it longer. I think that
Did they?
just the video itself was short, but
Oh, that makes sense.
so hey, happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And enjoy your not sitting on the couch and zoning out. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
He says that with such conviction.
Yeah.
You're funny.
Mm-mm. I'm just a miserable human being.
Yes, you are. I'm a miserable human being.
Mm. You're uploading?
I am. It's coming up.
Okay. It's coming up, Millhouse.
Coming up, Millhouse.
I won't, Kara. I won't. Because I'm going to go to bed late and I'm going to wake up early because my kids are going to be excited to go fishing tomorrow.
This is when they're little and you can tell them it's Father's Day, therefore I would like to sleep in, and they're like, no,
Yeah, they don't
you
understand.
gotta get
Yeah.
up because we want to wish you a happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
us.
My boy will be up at 6:30. He'll stomp in because he doesn't know how to walk quietly. He'll be like, Daddy. Then he'll start pulling my eyes all open. So what? We're going fishing today.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. That story that you put on Twitter where your daughter gave you something that fell on the floor and had you eat it.
Mhm.
What was that?
It was an ice cream cone. I was laying on the couch watching television. My daughter's eating an ice cream cone, right? And then I hear the crunch. And then I saw something out of the corner of my eye. It looked like it fell out of her mouth, but I don't know. So she comes over. She reaches down. She picks it up. She comes over. She looks at me and she shoves it into my mouth. Like, I chewed it up. And I was like, was that on the floor? And she's like, uh-huh.
Oh,
And then she
a
walked.
little cat hair in there.
I think there was a little something. Yeah, and then she smiled. Her little darling, adorable, mischievous smile, and she walked away. Mm-hmm.
Kids.
Yeah, my kids.
Your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just picked a piece of ice cream up off the floor and shoved it in my mouth.
Well, you know you're not going to die from it because, man,
Yeah.
you wind up picking up all of the resistances to everything when you've got kids.
That's how I look at things. You know, I don't mind because you got to get strong. Got to work that immune system. You keep purelling everything. You know,
There's no germs.
there's no germs to get strong to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, whatever. It's cool. I don't mind. Yep. All right.
There you go.
And don't let anything go to waste, like the chief says.
That's
Good,
right.
Good chief. Voodoo.
Voodoo.
Voodoo man. Yeah. All right. That's it. I'm done.
All right.
Can't do
Then I'm
anything.
done too. And you guys have a fabulous night. Great weekend. We will see you next week. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Flash move.
Yeah, we got to talk about the next couple of weeks too.
Yeah, we do.
All right.